On our creative lifestyle segment, I have a fantastic lady here. I'm going to introduce her to you in just a little bit. But, you know, we're in the Arts Month, Heritage Month. Today we begin our Heritage Art Festival at the AMA. And it's very important, I believe, and for us to promote the arts in so many ways. But this is someone who is beyond an artist. She's actually an architect, you know, and let me just introduce her to you, and then we'll have a conversation. Nana Ejaiba Esua Kwesi is here with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So, tell us a little bit, first of all, about your journey from architecture into the miniatures that you're doing.
Okay. So, with regards to architecture, I've always wanted to do architecture, even growing up.
Okay.
But then after I completed school, I've been working.
Any of your parents an architect?
No, my dad was a medical doctor. My mom a banker. So
but you just felt the passion for it.
I've always been into putting stuff together, like manufacturing and putting stuff together. So I ended up in architecture school. I finished, I started working. And then a couple of years down the line, I met a friend actually, and then we started this. But somehow, we split along the way, and I went solo. So in 2020, I was like, okay, I want to get this back up again, and then I want to release new stuff. But with being an architect, it gives me like a broader view into what's happening in this country. I'm into promoting Ghana as well.
Okay.
And I love traveling. So I travel quite often. And then I've seen these things with other countries. So I was like, why can't it be done here?
The same thing
yes,
here,
and especially with all our people are interested in their schools. And so if you realize I have some few things with schools as well.
I see an Adisco here.
And Achimota.
Oh, yes.
Those are my first two, the black and white schools of Ghana.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Larabanga Mosque is there, Jamestown. This is the Independence Arch.
Yes.
And then the Freedom and Justice.
Exactly.
Nice.
So it's been quite interesting getting here after school. And I have hopes of actually taking much further than this.
Okay.
Yes.
When you say much further, give us a peek into the future.
So aside from just putting together what we have here, the monuments and all that, I'm looking at coming up with creative ways of representing Ghana in itself. Not just pick the building and then try and miniaturize it. Actually getting other additions and combinations, all kinds of creativity coming in there to represent Ghana in one way or the other. So it will happen. You would see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. So for you, what's the importance of heritage? Because I'm looking at this.
Yes.
My mind immediately comes to heritage.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of our schools are actually very iconic.
Yes.
You know, so they're in a certain sense, heritage sites on their own.
Yes.
You know, and then of course we have the national emblems.
Yes.
Larabanga Mosque is a big one. So for you, what's the importance of heritage?
I think to know where you're going, you need to know where you're coming from. It's really important because if you don't know where you're coming from, you tend to not understand your journey. But if, for example, we as Ghanaians understand this is how far we've been through the process, we get to appreciate where we are and where we are headed. So heritage it's important to understand what our heritage is, that's one. And in understanding it, we become better off. We don't just shake it or shun it along the way, but we actually promote and develop it along the way. So that's what I think with regards to heritage.
And I understand what you said by you know the fact that you travel a lot and you saw these in other countries. And it's like, why don't you? How easy has it been miniaturizing
the process?
Yes.
It's okay. So let me start this. Because I'm an architect, it comes fairly easily to me.
Okay.
I see a building and I see a human being. Doctors see a human being, can see the eyes, the bones, and everything. I see a building and understand all the components of a building.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to seeing someone ask me, for example, when I had to do this, I picked this building. Okay, how do I make this smaller? And in miniaturizing it, you realize that you cannot show all components. Something like a door is much bigger than a window. So if you try to reduce everything, you realize some things will disappear.
Yeah.
So I have to now understand what the building is and how far I can shrink it.
Okay.
Because if I shrink it beyond, then it will lose all its components. So it's a back and forth process.
Okay.
I have to virtually design the miniature as well to make sure that anybody seeing this can recognize what it actually is and not what exactly. So it's a back and forth process. There's a lot of design work, there's a lot of picture. And sometimes, because I'm an architect, it comes naturally to, like I was saying, because some of them I don't have measurements. All these I didn't do with measurements. I just had to do it with pictures. So I take a picture and identify, okay, how many windows are in there, how many doors are in there, what paint color.
But how difficult is that? Because for an architect, everything is by measurement.
Yes, it is. But we are also taught to understand proportions.
Okay.
So if I don't have measurements, I can't wait for measurements. I have to apply proportions. Because a window has a particular size, a door has a particular size, a floor has a particular size. So when I understand all these basic components of what a building comprises, I can actually put something together without necessarily having the measurements. And because I have proportions in mind as well, I won't end up with maybe a bigger tower or a smaller door, or the proportions apply. So it's just like repeating the proportion as and when you're going along. So that's how it is.
Curious question for me. Do you think you understand this enough to teach it?
Architecture or miniaturizing?
This, miniaturizing.
I think I'm getting there.
You're getting there?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I
like that.
there.
Which is easier? Designing a regular building or designing one of these?
Let me understand you properly. A regular building, as I'm starting
so,
a new design altogether.
Yes, a new design altogether. You're an architect, and somebody has come to you and says, I have an idea.
Yeah.
I have this and this and this and this I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Come up with a design.
Okay.
And you're doing your 3D modeling. So your 3D modeling is like the sort of final version.
Yes.
Like this. So which is easier?
I think this is a bit more easier because the building is already there. I'm not planning, or I'm not dreaming, or with a startup, I'm dreaming. I'm thinking of how to let this guy feel like, oh, Charlie, this is like
this is a wow
exactly.
Project,
but this one already exists, so I just have to now understand. But this is also difficult in a way because without measurement, I need to understand every single proportion I'm putting in there. A place like the Independence Arc, that one is a bit complicated. If you go all around the building, it has so many different components, so many units. So I have to understand height, proportions. I have to understand width. I have to understand the arc, the all. So before you realize, so someone sees this and they understand that it's actually the Independence Arc.
Yes.
But how it got there, it hasn't been an easy one.
Yeah. No, I think I understand what you mean when you say that there are certain things, if you shrink them, you lose, they disappear.
Yes.
Right. So I can see windows and doors that are not in here.
In there.
Balustrades. But we know what it is.
Yes, exactly.
But we know exactly what it is. And the idea is to know what it is, right?
Yes.
Okay. So can you help us to understand you've decided that you're now going to do, let's say, a miniature of the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
Okay.
Right. I don't know if you've done one already.
I have actually.
Okay, good. So you're going to do a miniature of the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum.
Yeah.
How does it start?
Okay, so because taking measurements will be a long process because there's so many different sections of the building, so I do pictures.
Okay.
So I have to take as many pictures as possible, and I have to study them critically to understand all the areas in there. So that's where the process itself from the beginning is quite long because of the picture taking and then the understanding the picture. Okay. When I'm done with that, then I start my modeling. When I start modeling, as and when I pull this, I take away that, I stretch this, I start forming the picture one way or the other. But before I start it, I've already developed what I'm going to do in my head. Okay.
So when you say modeling, are you using like paper mache? What are you using?
So computer generation has really helped us. So,
CGI.
Yes.
Okay, right.
So we are training using certain softwares in my profession.
Okay.
And I decided to apply those softwares in doing this. It's worldwide. If you go there, they are using that software to actually create a lot of things.
Cinema 4D?
No, Google SketchUp.
Okay.
Yes. So with that, I pull, like so many things, but you need to know how to use the software to be able to achieve certain things. Because let me use the example of a lighthouse. It wasn't easy because the tower is not a straightforward tower. It has to taper at some point, it has to expand at some point, and it's a circle. Yeah. So whilst you're doing that, it has its own challenges, and then I have to do the finish. You see how it has to show the brickwork.
Yes.
So
I think it's very intricate.
Yeah, so it has certain things that I need to know how to use the software to be able to achieve. But at the end of the day, when I'm done and I look at it, I'm happy because I've been able to do something without measurements, and I've just been able to do it with pictures. And people see like, oh, this is so fantastic. So it's an exciting journey. Every time I start some new project, I'm really happy about it, and I can't wait to see it.
Okay. So talking about advancements and modernity and all of that, don't tell me you're using 3D printing to do this.
It's part of the process.
Wow.
It's part of it. But it's not all of it. It's going to be really expensive. That's all of the process.
Okay.
It's part of the process at the beginning because we have sculptors, people who can sculpt from start, but this is quite tiny. So trying to sculpt it might not actually get it into certain details. Before I started this, if you go to places like Menchia, there are huger versions of the building, but not this small.
Not this small.
So anybody trying to do such a tiny stuff needs actually the technology we have now, such as 3D printing.
Yeah.
So it is part of the process.
Wow. Yeah. So let me ask you, do you have any that are like fridge magnets? Because these ones look like paperweights.
Yes.
Okay, these are paperweights. Yes. Good. So the fridge magnets, when are we getting those?
The new batch coming is fridge magnets.
Oh, really?
You would love them.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. No, because I think in essence, when you do travel and you're picking a souvenir, you're wanting it to be in your face, kind of thing, where you see it every day and it reminds you of the trip, the experience, and all of that. Okay, so as a business, how has it been?
It's tough. Starting a business in Ghana isn't that easy. Startup capital is crazy. Like I mentioned earlier, I started with my other partner. Like I had to go down there because I was trying to get the funds to actually start off on my own. So I saved for a couple of years, say 2 years. I've been trying to put money together because the startup capital of this is quite huge.
Okay.
But now that I've been able to release the first batch, it's more about promoting them and selling them.
Okay.
Because you have stock. And this stock has to move before the next batch comes up.
Through,
So as a business in Ghana, yes, we wish we had things left behind for us. We wish we had people who could invest in us. But when you get an investor and you want to see what are the key components, how do I get my money back and all that, it takes time to sell this because this is also an acquired taste. Not everybody appreciates these things. So I can't say I'm selling to everybody in Ghana here. If that was the case, I'd be a rich woman. But in the case where select few understand what this is, I need to find those target groups and market my things to them. And then that way I can still gather capital. So it's a rolling effect. I'm getting there.
Larabanga Mosque.
Yes.
How much is it?
It's the 50 CDs.
50 CDs.
Yes. Everything I cut across the prices. So 50 CDs for all of them.
So basically 50 CDs for each of these?
Yes, any one of them,
How long does it take to make one of these? So that if I order today?
If you're ordering the generic stuff, yes. But if you're not, for example, I have to now go through the process of the drawings and everything. After that is done, I have to deal with manufacturers, back and forth, how we are and it's like they will start up and then they'll ask me, okay, how do you want this done? The color selection is also a process. The sizes is a process. Packaging is a process. So by the time I'm done, it could take averagely close to 2 months to finish one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So there's a viewer is sending a question here.
Okay.
Hello, Kweku. Please, is her work for sale? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It is for sale. 50 Ghana cedis each. How can we purchase it? Where can we find you?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
Originally I wasn't, but I'm on Instagram now. So
and then Instagram name?
Yes, Souvien. Souvien is French for souvenir.
Okay, so Souvien, S-O-U-V-I-E-N-S.
Souvien GH.
All right, Souvien GH.
So there's a contact number there.
Okay.
If you pick it up, you call, we deliver. Yes.
All right, super. Okay, so it says that I'm very interested because I see my school there. At this school is the name. Hashtag Up Santa Clausians. All right, so that's your school right there. Okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything else would you like us to know before you go about your work, your business, everything you do?
I'm hoping this goes far. I'm hoping Ghana, people see Ghana.
I really hope so too.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
All those in the diaspora gets to know what Ghana is and what we are capable of doing, and making sure that they remember us for the right things, not for the wrong stuff. So basically, that's it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Thank you very much. We've been speaking on this creative lifestyle segment with Nana Dziffa Akua Ametam, and she's the CEO of Souvenirs, and they do miniature souvenir crafts. Thank you for watching this segment. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
are those with untold stories, unraveled feats, life-changing stories, and lasting legacies. They tell their stories themselves right here on Footprints.
Very early in my career, I was on the presidential jet and traveled with the man to wherever he went in Africa.
We need to master the art of governance or the science of governance, not only from the perspectives of those we actually empower.
Be inspired by their hard work and resilience that led to those outstanding achievements as we trace their footsteps through the capsule of time.
Oh, I was arrested by General Hamidou on an aircraft going to London. They said I was planning some coup or something.
So join me, Samuel Atamensa, and my guests every Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. only on City TV.
Welcome back. It's Breakfast Daily on City TV. And again, today is the first day of the Heritage Art Festival. It's happening at City Hall at the AMA. And we expect to see all of you starting from actually 10 a.m. Come early, come meet us. And I have Kofi Nduro Donko here with me. He's a painter. He's going to walk us through some of his work. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good to meet you. You're coming close as if you want to shake my hand. But we'll do the coronavirus shake with our feet. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Tell us a bit about yourself and your work.
My name is Kofi Nduro Donko. I was born 56 years ago.
Wow.
I've been painting for the past 25 years. And so painting is my life.
What sparked your interest in painting?
As I was growing up, elementary school, we used to use this clay to do art and craft. Mm-hmm. That's the time I discovered that I can do art. And as I was going through elementary school, a family relative came to stay with us, and he was sent to Guy Fay's art studio. Mm-hmm. That's the time I discovered he mentored me.
Wow.
Then from there, from elementary school, I went to Ganata College of Art for a period of time. From that time, I started doing art.
Have you always painted or
painting?
Just painting?
Painting.
And what's that process like when you start a piece?
It's difficult to get an idea, to put it on a canvas. But when in the middle, the excitement grows, so that makes you to finish it and see how people will come around and say, oh, the work is nice. Mm-hmm. Because we do for public to appreciate.
Yeah. And what inspires your work?
You see, our surroundings. Yeah.
So we're looking at this piece. Can you walk us through what's going on?
Yeah, I got this painting picture at Kumasi. When you stand around KJT at the top there, you see the movement and this. And so I create something with my own, like water, it's rain after rain. Mm-hmm. So I use my own creativity to make a lot of ideas to get this piece.
What did you start with? Did you start with the environment, or you started with the people?
Sometimes
how do you arrive at this?
Sometimes when you are starting a painting, you know till the thing comes out.
So it's kind of spiritual in a way?
Yeah, something like that.
How?
Yeah. Sometimes some of artists can't even tell.
So you wouldn't even know what the final product
the
will look like for you?
The beginning to the end, you don't know your destination sometimes.
Wow.
Yes.
But then, how long did it take you to do this piece, for instance?
I've been painting this thing for the past 2 months.
2 months?
2 months. And I have a painting that is over years in my studio that I haven't completed.
How do you know that, okay, this is a complete piece?
Sometimes it becomes a problem for even artists, that this work is finished. But sometimes...
Is it logic, or is it your intuition that will tell you that you're done?
Yeah, sometimes you say, oh, I'm satisfied. I won't touch it again. But sometimes a year you go back and say, oh, you have to do something about this work. You discover something that you have to add.
So what were some of the things you kept adding to this piece? What was the name of the piece?
This After Rain.
After Rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of this piece, some of the places, some passerby will notice a place that is not finished.
Yeah.
But me as an artist, I know that a particular place, I have
It's
to
not
do
finished.
something about it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But I see a lot more women here than men, or is it me projecting my experience onto your piece?
Yes. I love painting African women.
Why?
And landscape. They are beautiful.
But our men are beautiful too.
Yes, so as a woman painter, I have to paint the men. I'm painting what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. But what do you appreciate about the African woman?
Their curves.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
As you're standing here.
Okay. On that note, we'll move to your other pieces. Come with me, please. So let me see. I'll just pick this up, and then we'll show our viewers. What are we looking at here?
This work, I have a style that I use in my studio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a particular palette that I put my paint on.
Okay.
I always cut canvases and use it as my palette. So after using it, I turn them into painting. Okay. So this is one of them. Okay. I painted this thing 18 years ago.
Wow. 18 years ago?
Yes.
What was the inspiration behind it?
It's a landscape.
Okay.
I love water. So this is a landscape water.
And what's the name of this piece?
I haven't titled it yet.
So maybe someone at home can take
It's
this
not
with them.
It's not for sale.
It isn't?
It's for my house.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have certain pieces that you won't
I have
sell.
a lot of pieces that I'm not selling.
Have you had people insist that I want to pay whatever price?
One time a gentleman came into my house, wanted a particular piece. I said, I'm not selling. So if I have again, I'll blow it up.
But why did you decide that you won't sell some?
Some of the paintings, you love them yourself.
But the ones
it's
you
your
sell
children.
to, you love.
No.
You
some
sell
of
the
them,
ones
some
you
of
don't
them,
love.
because you have to survive. As an artist, you have to survive. So some of the paintings, you have to let them go, and some of them, you keep them.
So you keep your favorite children, and then the ones
yourself.
that are...
No, not that. You see, some of the pieces, the price tag is high. You have to survive, do things for the family. So you let them go.
How does it feel when you let go of a piece that you hold so dear?
See, emotionally, the place that the painting is going, sometimes it gives you some happiness. You see your painting in a particular place, like City FM. Then your painting is hanging on your reception. Mm-hmm. It's a plus.
Yeah.
So it depends where the painting is going.
There's one behind you that I want us to look at.
This painting, I painted it, that is 16 years ago.
Huh.
Yes.
What do we see there? I see two women.
Two men standing at a pond and chatting. Yeah.
What is it about water that fascinates you so much?
I don't know. Maybe I'm from water.
Maybe you're Papa Water.
Yeah.
What should we expect from you today, tomorrow, and Saturday at the Heritage Art Festival?
Yeah, we are going to AMA to meet the public, to let them understand that art is part of human existence. Yeah. So they should appreciate.
We're looking at some. I'll let you finish, but please walk us through some of the pieces we are looking at here on our screen. So what is this one?
This one, I did this work for Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mural work that I did for Bank of Ghana. It's the opening, the front, this thing. So it's at the Bank of Ghana.
And this one, no water. Symbols.
It's a heritage, it's a African culture, tradition. That's why you can see the symbols. And
so corporate bodies can actually approach you and let you know what they are thinking of, and you can bring that to life.
Yeah, so I did this thing for Bank of Ghana.
Okay.
So it's this thing. This is
another one of your classics.
Yeah.
What's going on there? So it looks like
it's a village and there's flamboyant tree. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
This one, this is about, I think, 14 years ago. It's owned by one of the investment bankers.
This is amazing. How long did it take to make this piece? It's really detailed.
Yes. Some of the works, it takes maybe it will sit in the studio and I'll be working on it time to time.
Do customers give you pressure sometimes?
No, if you give me pressure, I'm not having finished it. So I'll just skip it.
But do you give them like a timeline?
A time.
Like give me 2 months
2
or 3
months,
months?
yeah. When you come to my studio, whatever is finished, you can have it.
You can have, but if it's not finished, you have to
Yeah,
calm down
yeah,
and wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a final one. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm almost hesitant to ask you the inspiration behind this one.
Oh, it's just having a moment, contemplating loneliness in the night,
Was there a specific woman that inspired this in your life?
I look at women. Yeah.
So you drive about nature and women.
Yes.
Okay.
They are part of us.
They are part of us.
Yes.
Have you ever drawn a man before? In your entire over 20 years?
Oh, I've drawn a man before.
How was that experience like?
Oh, it's hard to finish the work.
Why is it hard to finish the work?
The happiness is, it's limited.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
As you stand in front of me, you're making me laugh.
What should we expect at your stand at the Heritage Art Festival today, tomorrow, and Saturday?
They should come and see what artists can do.
Okay. And how important is it for us to patronize local talent, local art?
You see, art is for beautification, and art is at the same time recording the present and the future. Mm-hmm. So people should keep. The expatriates are buying the good artworks away.
Yeah.
A day will come, the nation have to pay a high money to go and bring them back.
Yeah.
They have to keep them. Those that have money like you have to buy some and keep them here.
Okay, and we will do just that at AMA City Hall today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Where do we follow you on social media?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your name there?
Kofi Ndro Donko. Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us, Kofi Ndro Donko.
Yeah.
And you can catch him at the Heritage Art Festival along with a lot of other artists, Ghanaian artists from all over the world. Let's go and patronize our art, and we're going to make the biggest canvas Accra has ever seen tomorrow. So you don't want to miss it. Right after the show, I'm heading there. David is already on his way there. Thank you guys so much for joining us for Breakfast Daily. My name is Dziffa Akua Ametam, and I do this every day with David Kweku. Said you do enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you same time tomorrow. Goodbye.